8 things you need to consider before deciding how to build your mobile app. The first thing to consider is budget. First, how much can you afford to pay to build your app? There's a big difference in cost between each of these app development methods. An e-commerce store that makes millions in revenue and has investor capital will have a drastically different budget from a small boutique store. Now, where you land on price will eliminate some options straight away. The next thing to consider is time frame. How long can you afford to wait for your app to be built? Do you need your app live and deployed as soon as possible, or can you wait a little bit more for intensive development purposes? Now let's talk about flexibility. Think about the flexibility of the option you choose. Next is platform compatibility. Which platforms do you want to launch on? iOS or Android? Or do you want to launch on tablet as well? These are all things you have to consider. The next thing to consider is required features. Now, what kind of app-specific features do you need? Just be aware that some app builders give you limited options. If you need anything advanced such as integrating with specific mobile device functions, think about that before you start building your app. Next is technical skills. Some development methods require a level of expertise or knowledge on the technical side of app development from either you or someone on your team. Others require zero expertise whatsoever. So consider how much your team knows about this area and whether you need an option that's hands-off and beginner-friendly. The next thing to consider is time investment. How much time do you or your team need to invest into the project with the option you choose? Some require a significant amount of time put in from your side, which will require you to increase payroll and alter your workflow. Others are completely hands-off with little impact on your team's day-to-day. Also consider maintenance and reoccurring costs. Now, after you launch your app, you'll need to consistently update and maintain your app. Now, this includes things like bug fixes, improvements, new features, and mandatory updates. Each development method requires a different level of effort and investment to keep your app up to date. Now, consider this in your decision and whether you can afford this reoccurring cost. Now, we've given a lot for you to think about, but there's a shorter answer for the best way to convert your store into an app. You should absolutely consider your company's own circumstances here, such as what you have to work with and what you can afford. That being said, in most cases, a managed app conversion service like Mobiloud is the best way to go. It's more flexible and requires less work on your part than a no-code app builder, and it's significantly faster and cheaper than building natively. The advantages that native app development offers are not worth the massive investment in price and time, particularly the huge recurring cost of hiring or contracting developers to keep your app up to date. Most e-commerce stores are 90% of the way there to an app already. You just need something to convert what you have into a package that works as a mobile app, which is exactly what Mobiloud does. Now here's how it works. First, you want to fill in your website details. Then you want to configure your app menus and choose which tabs on your app are going to point to which URLs on your website. And once you fill in your app information and choose your colors, then you can preview what your app will look like. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you learned something. As always, my name is Jamarco and I will see you next time.